If it's Sunday, it must be Sunday dinner with Chef Joe. Hey everybody, and welcome to an absolutely beautiful day here in New England. I mean, it's one of those Chamber of Commerce, as they say, fall days. That there isn't a cloud in the sky, the leaves are changing, it's actually warm enough to have t-shirt on out here. I'd be wearing shorts, but this grill is so hot I didn't want to burn myself, but it's a beautiful day, and what a great day. And I knew it was going to be a beautiful day from the weather forecast, so that's why I wanted to do the paella today. So today we're making paella. Paella, if you do it right, you're going to do it on a charcoal or a wood grill like we're doing. This is a traditional paella pan that you're seeing right here. And we're going to start right off. So the paella pan, I poured a little olive oil on there. And it has the dimples in it that you can. I'm not sure you can see right now because it's so hot. But we're gonna sear our chicken. Starting off, we're gonna sear our chicken in this oil. And what we're doing is we're just searing it on both sides. We're not trying to cook it all the way through, because what we're doing is we're gonna build this dish in layers. Okay. So in our dish today, in our paella, we have chicken thighs. We have, instead of chorizo, usually I would put like a chorizo in it, but we didn't have any at the store today. So I got an andouille sausage, which is more New Orleans. But the problem is, it's not a problem because New Orleans food actually has a ton of Spanish influence. Everybody always credits the French for all the New Orleans food, but the Spanish have a ton of influence in that. So we're just searing our chicken, as you can see. Really nice in our grill. All right. So we're going to use the andouille sausage next. So what we're going to do is we're going to sear this, and then we're going to throw in our andouille sausage as the next thing we're throwing in. All right. Now this is really cooked, so all you really were trying to do with this is just brown it. Okay, so we're just browning that. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting a lot of this stuff back in after the fact to finish cooking. All right, so our chicken is done, so we're going to throw that back in to hold it for a few minutes. Okay. Then we got our andouille sausage. Like I said, chorizo, if you can find it, I would go with that. That's my first choice. This is my second choice. It's still got a good spice to it. So we're going to throw our andouille sausage back. It's all nice and seared. As you can see, this is a super hot fire. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a really nice hot fire when you do this. You don't want it to be too hot. And I've been actually, before we came on today, I was trying to knock this fire down a little bit because it really is a hot fire. Thank God I have long pants on. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Whew. Hot sausages in here, man. All right. So we've got our sausage done. Now we're going to do our sofrito. So a sofrito is the base. You're making the base for your paella. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in a little more olive oil in there. All right, beautiful. And then we're going to throw in. I've got right here one red bell pepper. I'm throwing into this. And again, what you put in your paella is really up to you. You know, paella has a base. Woo! All right. This is what's great about this show today. There's lots of pyrotechnics and stuff today. And then I'm going to throw in, I've got 1/2 of an onion diced. Okay. And then So we're gonna let that go for a second, and then we have here, this is one 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. You can use any brand you want. It's one 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. All right, so we're stirring that all up. Beautiful. All right, we got that. All right, now I always like to season my sofrito a little bit, give it a little salt and pepper, just to get it going. The other thing I like to throw into my sofrito is a little paprika. So I have here some nice sweet paprika that we're sprinkling on. I don't know, give yourself a good couple of pinches, as I like to say. All right. Next, now that we have that, we're going to add our rice. This is obviously the base for our paella. So I have here a nice good Spanish paella rice. It's a Bumba rice. It looks a lot. It's very much like the same rice you would use in an Italian risotto. So if you can't get the actual Spanish paella rice, Bumba rice, you can use an Abruzzo rice, which is a risotto rice. So we're going to throw that right into our. This is for this pan. I'm doing 2.5 cups of the rice, and then we're going to. What we're doing now is we're kind of toasting our rice, and we're mixing it all up in the sofrito. Getting all that nice and toasted. Okay, I'm gonna get that burnt sausage out of there. All right. Next, we have. So I have here 8 cups of chicken stock that I've heated, so you can see that it's hot. And then what I'm adding to that is about 1/2 cup of chopped parsley. Oh, we forgot our garlic. Let's throw our garlic in now. We gotta have garlic, you know. Any dish calls for garlic as far as I'm concerned. All right, garlic's going in. That is, by the way, 4 cloves of garlic. So we've got our broth in here. Now, the most important thing you want in a paella is saffron. So I don't know if you can zoom in. That's about 2 good pinches of saffron. I'm a real lover of saffron. Saffron, in case you don't know, is the most expensive spice in the world. All right, that right there is probably seriously about $10 worth of paella of saffron. All right, so I am sprinkling that saffron right into our warm chicken stock, and as you can see, I'm kind of grinding it up with my hands. And we got to get moving because we're burning up our rice here, so we don't want to do that. So we're going to take our first cup of chicken stock and we're going to put that in. And what we're going to be doing now is just like you would in a risotto, is we're going to start making our risotto. We're making it, and we're trying to use the chicken stock to cook our rice. So the goal is not to let it, so as it fills up, you're going to add another cup of chicken stock. Just like that. This chicken stock is just a store-bought one. You can buy any kind you like. I like to use the unsalted when I do it because I like to add my own salt to recipes. And that's the secret. Everybody always complains about chefs use too much salt, but the deal is we start from 0. We try not to use salted. We don't use salted butter. We don't use salted chicken stock. And we add our own salt in there so we know exactly how much is going in. All right, so as you can see, it's looking really nice right now. What do you think, Jake? Looks pretty good, right? So again, we want to just keep up with the Joneses here. So as it starts to soak up that next cup of stock, we're going to add another cup of stock. Just like that. All right. Meanwhile, I think while we're waiting for the next cup of stock, we should do our favorite segment. And you know what our favorite segment is? What's Joe drinking? Today, Joe is drinking. We talked about doing a sangria, and then we're like, no, everybody expects us to do a sangria. Plus, it's really not summer anymore. So we decided we'd buy a nice Spanish wine. So I have a Roja here, which if you don't know Spanish, that means red. And we've got a Castillo. Did I say it right, Jake? Castillo. It's a Castillo. I learned that you're supposed to keep the two L's when they're together silent. It's more like a Y. That's what I just learned. Anyways, we have a Castillo. It's a nice red. And it goes really well. I think it's going to go delicious with our paella today. All right, back to it. See how we're doing here. So we're still getting our stock in. As you can see, we've already added what, like 3-4 cups of stock already. And we are still, and it's going fast. I mean, it's cooking, man. This is going to be I think this is going to be one delicious paella. I'm going to add another cup. All right, and get the next one ready. So what we're going to do next is after we get all of our stock in, and what I'm trying to do now is I'm really trying to speed up to get the stock in, because once we get the stock in, then we're going to add our food back into it so we can finish cooking all the chicken that we have. Remember, we didn't really cook our chicken. Our chicken's pretty rare right now, so we're going to put that back in so it can finish cooking. And then we're going to add in our seafood back into it. This is beautiful, you guys. This is just gorgeous. And it's a one-pot meal, as you can tell. A good day to do the show. All right, I'm going to throw back in our chicken now, because I really do want this chicken, obviously, to finish cooking. So the more heat I can give it, the better. So I'm putting the chicken back in. And all that juices that came off of it go back in. All right. So now we got our chicken in. And I'm waiting for this broth to be soaked up a little more by the rice. We're almost got all our stock in. We're getting there. I think we may be 2 cups away. So as you can see, the saffron is already changing the color of our stock, which is great. So when it's all done, our stock is going to be our rice and our dish should have a beautiful, beautiful yellow color to it. Okay. We just want to keep stirring it for a minute. Now, everybody always claims the best part of the paella is the crust, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Personally, I think every part of the paella is great, but what's going to happen is after we get all our stock in, we're going to throw all our seafood in, and we're going to put our sausage back in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just let this we're going to let all this soak in and evaporate and finish cooking. And what's going to happen is it's going to form a nice crust on the bottom. Remember, we have a pretty hot grill going, right? So it's going to form a crust. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. You want a crust because the crust, people love the flavor of the crust. The crust is it's kind of like the icing on the cake. This is the cake and the icing is the crust. So I got another one I can get in there. We're almost done. I think I got one more to go in. Look at that, exactly one more. All right, so we're waiting on that. Just cooking a little bit more. This one is one of these things where you just got to take your time and work with it. But it's a delicious dish. As you can see, it makes a lot of food. We're going to be eating definitely for at least a day or two. All right, I've got my last stock in. All right, so now we're going to throw in our seafood. And what I like to do is I like to do it in the order of how long I think it's going to take to open. So you go so you go backwards first. So the stuff that's going to take the longest to open is what you put in first. So the clams, these are little neck clams that I got. We're going to throw some of those in. And again, I'm just throwing them kind of everywhere. All right. And then we have these nice local mussels that we're going to put in. It's one of the great things about living here, especially in New England and living in an ocean state, is that we can get some amazing seafood. Not cheap, but it's amazing. All right. You got that in, right? And then last but not least, I've got here a pound of shrimp. I've left the tails on, but these are some shrimp, and yeah, there's some water in there, but that's okay because it's got flavor. So we're going to throw that right into our paella. As you can see, we have one full paella dish now. So now, really, the only thing left to do is I like to put a little lemon on my paella, and you're supposed to serve your paella at the end with lemon. So I'm going to throw a little lemon in here, a little lemon juice. Okay. Gives it some brightness, a little acidity. All right. Mix all that up. And you guys, probably in about 15 minutes or so, I'll have paella ready. So we don't want to sit on the show for another 15 minutes, and I don't have a finished one to show you because, as you can see, why would I make 2 of these when there's like 5 of us for dinner today? So anyways, what I will do is I promise that I will post pictures of our finished product when it's done. And like I said, what I'm doing now is I'm just letting this go. I am letting it cook. It is going to cook now until all this liquid has been absorbed by the rice. The rice will be nice and tender. It'll form a crust on the bottom. When all that's done, we will take the paella pan off and we'll serve it. So until then, I promise I'll do it. But until then, please stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy. And I'll see you next week on Sunday Dinner with Chef Joe.